I'm an accidental actor who got a chance to live his dream and has been doing that for the last 21 years. When I started doing multi-stars, I was a guy who did my first film thinking it would be my last film. I'm a guy who got a chance to be a movie actor. I didn't want to be an actor. I think every era, parameters of success have changed. So my thing was, oh wow, I'm getting to act with Mr. Bachchan. I did 3 films with him. Amitabh Bachchan, Rishi Kapoor, Mithun Chakravarti. I'm a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan, a huge fan of Salman Khan. Yes, I'm friendly with them and I would do anything from them and likewise, they would go out of the way to do something for me. These are equal relationships that I've nurtured, and for me, this is success. In a multi-starrer, you have to look at what is important as a collective effort for a scene. It's not important how good you are. There are 5 actors, but this scene belongs to this actor. So when I've done Dhamal with all of us together or Masti, we understand each other very well. You need to be more giving so that the film will be better.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned to Bollywood Bubble, and today we have with us Riteish Deshmukh, who is straight up going to tell me what has been the toughest pill to swallow when it comes to working in the showbiz industry.
My first tough pill to swallow was criticism.
Really?
Yeah. Because and I'll tell you why. Because when your first film comes out, and thankfully this was in a time when there was no trolling as such.
Exactly.
But there were some reviews that were shattering.
They were harsh. I have read that.
Harsh is a mild word. They're literally shattering, and then I remember having this conversation with my father, saying, how does, and he just told me that, like we say, swallow the pill and move on, work hard. So that was the first tough pill to swallow. That and also that was a sheer reality of the film industry, that there's going to be criticism, and when I look back, I think my first reaction was anger at that point, or disappointment. But when I look back, I say that those were probably the stepping stones of me attempting to better my craft.
Do you think as you get older, age-wise, technically, the choice of roles which you pick for yourself, they also evolve, or it has to do only with the fact that how many years you per se maybe spend honing your craft?
I think every era, the parameters of success have changed.
Yes.
Things, when they worked, they changed. So, and I'll give you, I debuted in 2003.
Yes.
In 2003, if I'm not wrong, there were about 7-8 of us who came, right? So there's of course Janil and me in Jan, then there was John in the same year, there was Shahid and Amrita Rao in the same year. I'm not too sure whether Priyanka and Lara were a year before or the same year.
Year before.
And there was Zayed in the same year. So we all came together. And eventually what happened was, for a bigger production house to work with you, you had to be successful. Because they only work with stars. And by the time you found success, particularly in multi-stars or whatever, and then it took 5-7 years, and you say, okay, fine, you had few successful films for other production houses to look at you and offer you films. They started working with newcomers. So I'm trying to say that eventually, when you look back, what I was trying to say, that things kept on changing. The goalposts kept on changing. You have to start adapting to various things, roles. When how do you get typecast in a particular genre? Yes. Like I've been giving interviews, and the main question that I primarily get asked is, you do so many comedies are done by, and you get boxed in the comic actor space, and I'm proud to be there. When you start a career, you look at, there should be something that people appreciate.
Exactly.
Then you figure out, and I'll give you my example itself. Tujhe Meri Kasam was my first film. Masti was the first commercial success, and Kya Cool Hai Hum came back to back. And during that time, once you got success in a particular genre, you kept being cast in.
Exactly.
Those. So then Apna Sapna Mani Mani came in, then Dhamal came in, then Housefull series came in, then Dhamal 2 came, then Kya Cool 2 came, Masti 2 came. So it just kept, and I did serious roles. It wasn't like Ram Gopal Verma cast me in In Nach, unfortunately, that didn't do well.
What was a beautiful film.
I love that film. Then he cast me in Zaruri Hai. There was another film called Run.
Yes.
Then I did Aladdin and Sujoy Ghosh, which was an adventure film that didn't work. But comedy films kept happening. Then suddenly you have Mohit Suri and Ekta Kapoor who offer you Ek villain, and then you say, okay, fine, let's try that. And same year I did an action genre film in Marathi called Lay Bhari.
Yes.
So I'm saying that eventually in life you get opportunities, parameters keep changing. So when you talk about choices with age, will change because those are not the same roles that you seek. And I'll give an example. When I was watching this movie which has an older character and younger character. 12 years ago, I would have thought of myself as a younger character. The same film today, I think of it as an older character. So it just shifts, and I realize, oh God, why am I thinking of that and not this? Because you realize that, you don't identify with that age anymore.
Do you enjoy this space more? The space where I think in the last couple of years, what I have seen of you has worked. Not just the Hindi film industry, if we are talking about the languages per se. Your dominance in Marathi is equally to be applauded for. The way you have put out cinema out there. Of course, we have Big Boss, now we have Bill in the series format. The roles which come with gradually once you age, not just a former as age as we have just been talking about. You enjoy this process, this side more now?
I think one needs to understand this industry. I have been extremely lucky to have sustained for so long.
Oh yes.
It's not a given that you'll be able to sustain.
People can't make a Friday to Friday, Riteish.
I've been blessed. People have been kind. Makers, producers, directors have been kind enough to sign me time and again.
And the fans.
And also, yeah, of course, audiences to have. That's what the audience to bear me on screen.
Come on.
But what I'm trying to say is that when there's first battle of trying to be relevant at audiences. Now I have 18-year-olds watching my film. They were not even born when I did my first film. So when they say, "Oh, I'm born in 2006," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," and I watched Dhamal or television. So there are many films. I wasn't born when so many of the older films were, but we kept watching them, and those movies kept you relevant. So that is. So that is important to be relevant. The choices that you get to make today are much different that you made earlier. And at least after so many years, then now you know that there are many films I would have done 10 years ago that I don't do anymore. And I rather sit at home or probably work on my production than do those. Nothing wrong with those films, but it doesn't excite me anymore.
It doesn't.
No, I'm not saying films as such, but probably a certain genre or similar kind of a film. It doesn't excite me anymore.
Riteish, you have been an actor who has, of course, done varied roles, but also worked in multi-starrers at a time where the word insecurity, now it's, I don't know, suddenly all over the place, but you were so secure in your place to do those parts. I presume so. You've also been a hands-on producer. Today, when you see the culture of evolving of how the cinema, we talk about, like Anurag has been very vocal about the entourage culture and how the landscape of the cinema is changing. How you see the industry today? Because you have given almost like half of your lifetime to this profession.
So I'll come back to two things. One is multi-starrer, and it's very much connected to
secondly, because you being also producer now, and you see the entire culture around you, because you're an actor and producer both. So how you see that?
So I'll first come to multi-starrer. I feel doing a multi-starrer is a mindset, and it's very important because to understand that mindset. And I've worked with actors who come from a mindset who are comfortable multi-starrers, and I've worked with actors in a multi-starrer who are uncomfortable with that.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. Because in a multi-starrer, you have to look at what is important as a collective effort for a scene. It's not important how good you are. You should know when you read a scene, okay, fine, there are 5 actors, but this scene belongs to this actor. So everything around it as an ecosystem needs to support for this character so the scene becomes fun. If in that I try to do something that will damage, the scene won't be funny and the film will dip. So it's very important to analyze, okay, fine, this scene. And it so happens that there are scenes where my character is more profound and that scene is adjusted to that. So it's very, so like for example, when I've done Dhamal, with all of us together, or Masti. We understand each other very well. And we
Exactly.
understand this scene is this guy, and we tend to support, and that's why the films end up
And the comic
being-
lands.
and comedy lands. So the mindset of a multi-starrer, you need to be more giving so that the film will be better than trying to say how much I can take or what can I get from this. What you get is eventually through box office, but you need to provide
Exactly.
while acting for the film to be successful at the box office, and that will only happen when audience start enjoying it.
Exactly.
So that is one aspect of it. And why I enjoyed multi-starrers also, second, because parameters of success are quite different for different people, right? For someone who wants to be a 100 crore film or a 200 crore film or whatever that box office parameter, or top 10 hottest looking people, or top 10 best actors, or whatever.
Whatever that may be. The
Whatever.
number.
And I respect each of these parameters equally. But for me, I've been a huge film buff. So
Yes.
as a child, I used to do my homework watching movies. So I used to have 4 video VHS cassettes, and I used to do my Hindi homework like this, math homework like this, come back. So I used to watch 3 to 4 films every day. So
Wow.
till about, I'm telling you, say till 2000, I must have watched every Hindi film that is released. Rarely there will be a film that I've not seen.
The good, bad, ugly of it doesn't
everything,
matter.
Everything. Okay. So only Hindi films. I didn't watch English movies because I didn't understand them. Okay. No, I'm being very serious. That's why I still don't listen to English music. I never was a big fan of English music. I have huge Hindi film music fan. When I started doing multi-starrers, I was a guy who did my first film thinking it would be my last film. I'm serious. I'm a guy who got a chance to be a movie actor. I didn't
Yes.
want to be an actor.
And you never came from a lineage for that matter. to
Correct.
be
And
one.
I'm an accidental actor who got a chance to live his dream and is been doing that for the last 21 years. So my thing was, oh wow, I'm getting to act with Mr. Bachchan. I did 3 films with him. Amitabh Bachchan, Rishi Kapoor, Mithun Chakravarti. And I'm saying the first name because that's how I know them. Otherwise, I would say Rishi Sir and Mithun Da and Jackie Shroff and Sunil Shetty and Akshay Kumar and Ajay Devgan. For me, I have practically worked with all of them,
Yes.
most of them multiple times, and that was my definition of success, that a person who has watched them on VHS for years gets a chance to stand shoulder to shoulder, enjoy screen space, work with them, and have personal equations with them, and be friendly with most of them. And I'm a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan, a huge fan of Salman Khan, and today to be able to say that yes, I'm friendly with them, and I would do anything from them, and likewise they would go
Likewise.
out of the way to do something for me. These are relationships that I've nurtured, and for me, this is success.
Lastly, because for just completing my own question, and I know we are short on time, Ritesh, you've also seen the era of where actors have turned into superstars, and then the unreasonable demands and the culture of it also follows. And you're a producer yourself. You are on sets and your hands on there. Do you think we'll be able to survive this entire charter which we've been discussing these days? I hope you're aware of that.
See, I'll tell you one thing. If something is unreasonable, don't aid it. If something is unreasonable, don't aid it. If you aid it, then you cannot complain about something being unreasonable because you've been aiding it.
Yes. And I think I just hope that whatever movies and the cinema and the shows we have to come in solidarity and support, because if we are not together, we can't make the art we want to see.
And apart from this thing, I want to just suggest that, I mean not suggest, but I want to say that it needs to be collective responsibility for a film to be successful. It just cannot be an actor's responsibility or producers or a director's. What happens is that when a film is successful, everyone
Takes
makes
money.
the most of it.
Hmm.
But when a film is unsuccessful, some take emotional hit, but some take emotional and financial hit,
Exactly.
and that hurts the most. So yes, we need to take collective responsibility. on
Make the
whole.
final product, I
Yeah.
guess, shine. But I hope that this one brings you the same joy which it is bringing to us. At least what I saw in the trailer, I think I'm
No,
having.
no. Pill is a very exciting series, and we are very excited about it. I, when I heard about it, I thought it was a clutter breaker in terms of what I've been watching on.
Yeah, we don't
on
have much
OTT.
of the medical drama.
It's also question that we need to ask, whether how well do we know our medicine, and
Yes.
we live in a country that probably we take medicine and prasad in the same form, right? कि डॉक्टर ने दिया और भगवान ने दिया
Self
तो
medication
बिना
also, Riteish,
नहीं
please.
self medication is a different issue. Even for self medication, the pill has to come to you.
Exactly.
How good is the pill? You have no idea whether the trials have been done well. And I'm not saying that there are many pharma companies in India that have been fantastic, but there are many who don't follow the protocols, and that is something that needs to be questioned.
Considering how conscious you are of your living and the choices you make, I think while filming this, it must have been an eye-opener for you.
No, it was, and I hope that when people watch this series, they do question their own medicine and stuff.
I think you're scaring the last part about me. I think I'll be scaring the next film I'm going to pop for sure. But I hope this one is a sweet one for the audience, for the experience wise, but raises the questions which it definitely should. But thank you so much. I know we are short on time. I can't steal more time of yours.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.